Welcome to the Communication Diva Podcast, episode 61. On today's podcast, the Communication Diva discusses curiosity and how to use it as an effective communication tool. While curiosity can manifest itself in less attractive ways, it is also at the heart of genuine learning and growth. Albert Einstein proclaimed that he had no special talents beyond passionate curiosity. And the British-Canadian writer and broadcaster Arnold Edinburgh said that curiosity is the very basis of education, and if you tell me that curiosity killed the cat, I say only the cat died nobly.
This is Jen Swanson, and you're listening to the Communication Diva Podcast. This is the podcast that aims to help you improve your communication skills both at work and in the workplace in the hopes that you might deepen your relationships. And so here we are. This is Tuesday. I'm recording this, the 26th of March. And this is the middle or the beginning of what we call Holy Week in the church. In the Christian church. And some of you know that I work in the church part of the time, and so does my husband full time. And this is a crazy week for us. We have lots of stuff going on, lots of services going on, and so I'm thinking this is going to be a shorter podcast than some of the previous ones, just because of time. But this is a topic. The topic for today, curiosity. This is a topic that I am really passionate about. I talk about this in my communication classes that I teach at the college, my other job, quite regularly, and it is a tool that I think is extremely useful. So I wanted to share that with you today. I find curiosity to be one of the best and most useful tools there is for communicating. So I wanted to first of all say that one of the things to remember in all of this is that all behavior makes sense, at least to the person doing it. And so curiosity, when behavior is not making sense, can be really helpful. I'm going to give you 4 examples of when curiosity can be useful, or 4 situations in which curiosity can be useful. And then we'll talk a little bit about some things to remember about curiosity. So the first one would be for clarification purposes. So if you've been asked to do something and you're unclear as to either why or how what you've been asked to is relevant to your life, useful, helpful, etc., fill in the blank, curiosity can be enormously helpful. And so just wondering aloud to the other person why or how or what this, is going to do, how it's going to benefit you. So, and again, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but the tone of voice and how exactly you use curiosity is absolutely critical. So, but the first thing here is clarification. It can be very useful when you're not understanding what it is the other person is wanting you to do or asking you to do. So be curious. That's a perfect place to use it. The second example of when curiosity can be useful is for when you have been given feedback. Somebody is critiquing you for either your performance or your behavior, and you either don't agree with their assessment, you don't understand it, or maybe you want to know more about what they think you should have done or should be doing instead. Now, if you are a student, you will be expecting to be receiving feedback for whatever it is you're doing, your performance, your work, your schoolwork, your clinical, if you're or a tradesperson, if you're out there doing a practicum. You're going to be given feedback by your instructors, your teachers, and that's to be expected. But sometimes it's feedback from a coworker. Sometimes it's feedback from an employer, and that is also to be expected. And so if there is anything about that assessment or that critique, that feedback that you don't agree with or don't understand, or that you'd like to know more about, curiosity is an excellent way to begin. So tell me more about whatever it is they're critiquing you about, and tell me more about your take on this or your experience of this, that kind of thing. So number 1 was for clarification. Number 2 was for when you have been given some kind of feedback. Number 3 is for when you have been given unsolicited advice. So here's an example. I'm just curious, why did you feel it was necessary to come over and tell me that my new baby needs to have a hat on? Again, it all depends on how you say it. Trust me, this is a really useful tool when complete strangers decide they need to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing. And it happens. I have a whole episode on, or maybe it's a blog post, I can't remember, on unsolicited advice, receiving feedback and giving feedback. But unsolicited advice happens to often new parents, to pregnant women, to young people. There seems to be people who take it upon themselves to give advice to complete and utter strangers in the strangest places. And so curiosity can be a way to, to stop it, to ask what their motivation was, and to sort of avoid having to justify yourself. So there's a thought. Unsolicited advice. This could be used in a workplace setting as well. A woman I know got sick and tired of her receptionist giving her wardrobe advice every single morning. So the receptionist was finally asked, "Why do you feel it necessary to comment upon what I wear each day?" After the receptionist stammered and babbled and burbled a bit, she blurted out something like, "Well, I just didn't want anyone to laugh at you or for you to be embarrassed." So, what kind of answer is that? You can take that answer as, I think what you're wearing is horrific, or I'm a fashionista and you're breaking every rule going, or I'm jealous and I need to make myself feel better by putting you down. Who knows why the receptionist made it her mission to critique or give advice on to this woman every single morning about what color combination she was wearing, or whether that skirt went with that blouse. But I think the receptionist definitely got the message that her behavior wasn't welcome. After the woman asked her quite pointedly, "Why do you feel it necessary to comment upon what I wear every day?" And after this sort of lame response came back to her about, "Well, I don't want anyone to laugh at you," the woman looked very pointedly at the receptionist and said, "I am actually not interested in your opinion of what I wear. If I ever become interested, I'll ask you for it." And that ended the uncomfortable morning commentary, and people were able to get on with things. So curiosity can be used very nicely when you have been given unsolicited advice or commentary about something. The 4th thing is for when you feel someone is behaving oddly. So, has anyone ever said to you, "Why did you say it like that?" Or what did you do that for? So that is the use of the tool of curiosity, but only sort of. It could, on the other hand, be used as commentary about how much the other person doesn't appreciate what it is you said or did. So, if you say something and the person says, "Why did you say it like that?" Or "What did you do that for?" That is actually less curiosity and more criticism. So tone is everything. And again, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. An example: I'm curious, what made you suddenly want to leave the conversation group yesterday? You got up really abruptly and left. Did someone say something to offend you? Would be real curiosity. And the person might answer, no, I got an urgent text that my child was unwell and I had to go get her at school. Oh, so, we can make up all sorts of stories about what happened, but curiosity can really clarify somebody's behavior if you don't understand it and you're wondering why they're behaving the way they're behaving. Simply asking in a curious way can get you the answers and really clear up a lot of miscommunication and misinterpretation. So how is it best to use curiosity? Well, you can use it to buy yourself time if you're feeling like you're getting angry or hurt or confused about something that's going on. You can actually ask somebody else the question or a question and allow them to do some more talking while you gather yourself. So you can use it to buy yourself time. And this is particularly helpful if you do feel like you're getting angry, because maybe you need more information before you jump to getting angry right away about something someone has said or done or a behavior. Use it also to find out more. So I've said this already, curiosity is an excellent clarification tool. You might even just say, I'm curious. Tell me more about what you mean there. It helps to have the person continue speaking, to unpack what they just said, to be more specific. You can use it to drill down to the real core of the matter. If you're able to, if you can continue to stay curious, you will open up all sorts of doors, all sorts of information will come to you. Now, one of the things to be careful of with curiosity is your tone of voice. So be sure to keep it conversational, non-accusatory, and unemotional. Okay, now those are 3 things to keep in mind. Keep your curiosity, your tone of voice, conversational, non-accusatory. You don't want to be blaming or accusing them of anything. You just want to be curious. And unemotional, because as soon as you get hooked into the emotions, then it's not curiosity, it's inquisition or something. So just be curious. Be really curious and see what happens next. I'm just curious. What's going on for you right now? What is your experience of this situation? I'd like to tell you mine, but I'm curious to hear what your situation is first, would be an example. Another thing that is useful is to use open-ended questions. And if you remember, these are questions that do not have a yes-no answer. These are questions that you're not able to answer a yes or no to. So they're open-ended. They encourage more dialogue. And if you use open-ended questions with your curiosity, then the other person's going to talk for a while. And hopefully you will get to the heart of the matter more quickly than if you are using closed questions. So use open-ended questions. One of the great places to use curiosity is in conflict situations, to gain an understanding of the other person's perspective or experience. And again, remember that tone of voice is critical. If you truly want to be curious, you must simply be asking questions, not sharing your opinion or giving advice until or unless it's asked for. So, if you say to somebody, why did you choose to wear that sweater this morning? That's not being curious. That's a criticism. In other words, you hate that sweater or you think it was a terrible choice. And so you're just couching your opinion in a curious question. That's not real curiosity. That's criticizing somebody. So be careful of the tone of voice. I'm just, how come you chose to wear that sweater today? I'm just curious. Might be a better tone. It still might come off as, I think you're crazy that you wore that sweater today. But it is crucial to remember your tone of voice. So be careful in using curiosity. It is a great tool, but you want to use it wisely. Curiosity, I think, helps you to learn about others and to learn about what makes them tick. I think it's a wonderful tool for getting to know people, particularly coworkers in a workplace setting, asking children about their opinions on numerous things, for deepening relationships of all kinds at home, at work. And we are curious people, right? We are inquisitive. So don't forget about curiosity. I think it's a great tool. It's really helpful, and it's one of my favorite. I talk about it a lot in class, and I think you've probably heard me say it earlier in other episodes. So there's my short and sweet little blab on curiosity. Clarification, using it for when you've been given feedback, when you've been given unsolicited advice, when you feel somebody is behaving oddly. Use it to buy yourself time. Use it to find out more. Use it in conflict situations. Remember to be careful of your tone. Keep it conversational, non-accusatory, and unemotional. Use open-ended questions. And hopefully this tool will become one of your favorites as well. So I'm just curious, how do you use curiosity in communication? And what ideas do you have about how, when, or where to use this tool? I would love for you to send me your thoughts and comments. I would love for you to send me a voicemail. If you come over to communicationdiva.com, there is a little little black button on the right-hand side of the screen and a little yellow box that will pop up, and you can actually leave me a quick little voicemail there if you have a question, or you can click on the comment section at the bottom of the post and leave a message, or you can come over to Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else that I am listed there and connect somehow. I would love to hear back from you and hear your thoughts on curiosity as a communication tool. All right, well, I am going to head off to bedtime now because it's very late here, and have a crazy busy day, and I'm still on my workout kick. So today was an 80-minute workout. Oh, it was crazy. But things are going well in that department, and tomorrow mornings I think is 55 minutes. But I'm working hard, but I'm exhausted by the end of the night. It's only about 9:30 here, but really tired. So I'm going to stop the record button. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Jen Swanson. Have a great week.